22.
Wow. Joining us now to break down all of the media lowlights from this weekend is our company, Turning Point contributor and featured author at BizPac Review, Erin Elmore, and co-host of the Lady Brains podcast, Alicia Krause. Ladies, good to see you both. Alicia, I want to start with you. Biden says that we're in this together. He's used the word unity like 150 times at his inauguration. He talks about it again. But as I've said at the time, I wrote in my book, he says the word unity over and over again, and then it doesn't do anything, and no one holds him accountable.
No, and also he can say the word unity, and then 5 seconds later, he can say that Republicans don't represent him, Republicans do not represent America, Republicans are evil and awful, and then also the unvaccinated are evil and awful.
No, Erin, we played that clip from CNN, Andy Cohen going on to slam de Blasio. I'm wondering if we need to get more reporters drunk to get their honest opinion.
Now that is a novel idea, but the problem is as charming and as funny and as fun as Andy Cohen is, and I love a good housewife as much as the next gal. The problem is he's slamming de Blasio, but is he going to vote differently? We already see that the new mayor, Eric Adams, is saying things like, yes, he's going to be more difficult on crime, but he hasn't changed any of the COVID restrictions. He didn't stop the New York teachers unions from saying they're not going to let kids go back to school in person. So what I would like to say to Andy Cohen and his 19 shots of tequila, A, put me on the Housewives, and B, you need to start changing your vote and changing the way that you think, because you can't scream and yell about what you don't like about your politicians unless you vote differently to change it.
Yeah. You know, switching gears, Alicia, over on Meet the Press, Chuck Todd asked Republican Congressman Peter Meijer if the Republican Party could survive another Trump nomination. Take a listen.
Can the Republican Party survive Donald Trump becoming the nominee one more time?
Well, if by survive you mean win elections, I think they can.
The Dallas Morning News, just when I thought they couldn't screw up their coverage in 2021 anymore, they were ripped apart about a piece on Senator Ted Cruz's 13-year-old daughter, who apparently takes to TikTok to share what she likes, you know, in terms of her being a senator's daughter. And then I feel like this is just so inappropriate. She's a 13-year-old girl, and yet the Dallas Morning News went and ran a piece on it.
You know, this is really troubling, and I read all of the comments. Caroline is his daughter, and she is a young 13-year-old girl, and this is what you worry about as a parent. Social media is a really adult place with adult content, and they're asking this young girl what she likes about being a senator's daughter, and you could tell her innocence and immaturity when she says, I get free candy in packages, and then yet the Dallas paper turns around and starts asking her substantive political questions. It's honestly shameful, and it's clickbait to get her to say, I don't agree with all of my father's policies. This is a child that shouldn't be asked to discuss politics. This is a child who's trying to be like the other children and be on TikTok and be on social media and engage with her peers. Yet, because of who her father is, the media is thrusting her into this national spotlight and trying to make her more mature than she actually is. And it's unfair, and it's really just a hot take to get clicks. And this paper should really be ashamed of themselves. They are not any sort of journalists with any sort of morals or ethics.
Yeah, vulnerable, hasn't figured out their own stuff, and is thrown into this situation because their parent made a decision to be in the public.
And you know what else?
Erin, Alicia.
Funny? Oh, sorry, real quick. I know you got to go. Remember when Obama's daughters, the press would protect them at all costs and say, leave them alone. Yeah. They're just children. Doesn't happen if you got an R next to your name now, does it?
That's right. I'm glad you made that point. I'm willing to cede the time. Erin, Alicia, thank you for joining us. Happy 2022.
Happy New Year.